Hello, and welcome to your introduction to sketching class. As you know, sketching is the most uplifting and enjoyable way to paint. Whether you're working with pencil or paint, or if you're outdoors or indoors, there is no pressure on you. You're not painting for an exhibition, for example, or to please your friends or family, just yourself. Today we're going to have a look at some basic concepts that involve sketching. So we're going to need a notebook that has quality paper, the type that you get for sketching, okay? I've got some here so you can have a look at that. We will provide you with some until you get your own. Okay, then we're going to need some pencils. So we've got them here too. Got all types of pencils. Depending on what you want to sketch, you're gonna need soft or harder pencils. So, an eraser. And hopefully you won't be needing that much, but it's handy to have one. And your art book. Some of you must be wondering, this is a class for beginners. If you're just starting out, you want to know what a sketch is. I can tell you there are 3 different types of sketches. An information sketch is just done to collect information or detail. Atmosphere sketch, where the aim is to record the atmosphere and mood for a finished painting. And an enjoyment sketch. It's done on a location simply to enjoy the experience. So, what we should do now is just make sure your pencils are nice and sharp. I'm going to use a sharpener, which you'll also find on your desks. Try to. Yeah. Make sure it's really nice. Sharp. This one's good. Let's try this one. Very good. This one's done too. Let's do this one. This one's a 6B pencil. It's going to be a lot of fun to sketch with this one. Okay. Now that our pencils are ready, please turn your pages to number 12. Now, I did mention that we have different grades for pencils. The most familiar one you will know, it's the HP. Pick that one up. Just check the end of your pencils and it will tell you HP, okay? Good. You will find this in any shop. The H stands for hard lead and the range covers 2H, 3H, 4H, 5H, and 6H. On the other side of HB are the B, which stands for soft lead, yes you guessed it. And the grades for those are 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, and 6B. The softest pencil is 6B. For most of my sketching, I do use 2B pencil. but there are times when I do turn to 3B or 6B. And these are the pencils we will be using today, so make sure you have them. Okay, great. And as I said, we will need an eraser. It's impossible to get everything correct the first time, so have that at hand, okay? And let's begin. We're using pencils because the pencils are indeed ideal for making quick sketches. It's been done for centuries by world famous artists. And the best thing about this is no matter where you are, it's always possible to find a piece of paper and some pencils. Okay, now have a piece of paper and let's start using our pencils. Okay, I'm going to pick up my 2B. Okay, pick up your 2B pencil. Now, to get the most variety of line and shading from a pencil, when you are sketching, there are a few simple things to learn. The most important of which is to hold your pencil. There are 3 methods of holding it, and you can do whichever you like. The first one, so I'm going to show you, is a short hold. So hold it close to the pointy end and just go like this. There we go. The long hold drawing position allows more freedom over a large area, like so. Hold it more in the center. And the flat hold position allows you to work large shaded areas by using the long edge of the lead, like so. Very good. Yeah, that's it. So, the short hold, long hold, flat hold. Very good. Now, let's talk about something else. If you're a beginner, like most of you will be in this class, the best place to start sketching is indoors, because you won't be concerned about the weather or strangers watching you, and you won't have to carry your equipment to a suitable location. You can easily find enough to sketch in your home. If you set up a still life subject, you will be in complete control of the subject. Lighting in your own comfort too. Okay. Now that we practiced how to hold our pencils, you should be more familiar now with using a pencil and the marks you can make with it. Still life is an ideal subject for practicing quick sketching. So still, let's pick up 2B again. Okay. And I'm just going to show you how to draw an apple. What I do is I put in plenty of construction lines on the apple and sketched in the background with free line shading, like so. Let's do a round apple with short strokes. There we go. Let's try strawberry. The strawberry is drawn very freely, so I use the freehand technique with a cast shadow to establish it on the surface. Those are the leaves. Remember to hold the pencil on the center. Let me see that. Okay, great. Now just add more shading here. Like that. Okay. Excellent. The potted plant. Let's have a look at that. Again, there are ellipses at the top and the bottom of this cylindrical shape. You can see the construction lines inside the pot. Don't be afraid of leaving drawn lines in a pencil sketch, okay? That's alright. Okay, now a few flowers. Excellent. Finish it off with a bit of shading at the bottom. Great. Here are a few tips. Many beginners tend to paint tightly and very carefully. However, you must learn to work more loosely. Okay? Because your state of mind is the most important thing here. Your aim at the outset should be to make your picture loose, and you must try to keep that at the front of your mind with every brush stroke you make. There are several ways to practice working loosely. You can draw very few pencil lines, showing only the most important shapes, so that when you paint, it is the brush strokes that are making the shapes, and you're not trying to paint up to your pencil lines to keep everything neat and clean. Okay, now let's talk about planning your still life. The most traditional indoor subject, as I said, is still life. But you have to plan to create your own scene that you want to sketch. From one scene to another, you can move it around, and you can make many different sketches. When you set up your still life for this project today, make sure that none of the objects will be wanted by another student. Okay, just grab a few apples and pears and pots and glasses and cups and bottles. Okay? Go ahead. Okay. Excellent. Are you ready? Okay. Now, let's look at the still life from many angles and use your creative imagination to make an ordinary subject more visually exciting. The 4 pencil sketches here start with light strokes and build up from there. Don't be afraid to forget you have your eraser to help you when you need it. Like now. Okay. Great. Just carry on drawing until you're done. Yeah? How's it going? Let me have a look. You can add like so. And let's clean that bit. Tidy it up a little bit. Very good. Just try to simplify your subject. Showing form with your pencil using directional lines and shading makes coloring very simple, as the pencil shows through the watercolor, gives the illusion of 3 dimensions. This is very important when sketching. Okay. Let's talk about sketching distance. In a landscape subject where you may be looking far into the distance, you will want to bring that sense of recession to your sketch. In nature, atmospheric haze turns colors in the distance cooler, which is to say bluer, just notice that, and paler, while warm colors like reds and oranges are strongest in the foreground. We have to take advantage of this phenomenon, which is called aerial perspective, in your painting to give it depth, okay? For instance, if you paint a red building in the distance, tone it down accordingly so that it doesn't jump forward in the picture. Just take care to make all colors and tones paler as they recede into the distance. We don't have to worry about colors today, but once your sketching is done, we will look at watercoloring our paintings in the next class, so keep that in mind. I'm going to talk a little bit about trees and pencil now. In the landscape, as you know, you will nearly always find trees, so it's important to practice sketching them. Unless you're working with distant trees, always start at the bottom of the tree and draw upwards. Work in the direction that the branches are growing to, and remember that they get thinner as you go up the tree. It's important to make the tree trunk and the way it grows out of the ground convincing. Okay. The 3 main rules are: don't curve the bottom of the trunk like a pantomime tree. A tree trunk is round, like a cylinder. We will practice by drawing the trunks with ellipses, like so. And because the trunk is round, we have to draw shadows on the trunk, going round the tree, not straight across, or it will look flat. And as for the branches, remember they get thinner as they grow outwards. it's a good idea to practice sketching just one species of tree at first, either in leaf or out of leaf. This will give you confidence. And finally, let's talk about scaling. Let's think about a vast scene such as ancient ruins. It can be so awe-inspiring. And even more so if you're about to try to sketch it. The first thing you must do is to take time to look at it and make yourself familiar with the whole aspect, okay? Try to compare the relative sizes and shapes of different areas of your sketch to help you to get each element roughly correct. What I suggest is to start with the main structure, and if you find you've drawn it too large, for example, simply redraw it. You can erase your first attempt if you don't want to, but there's no need, as your lines will all give energy to the sketch. Just carry on trying until you got everything you want fitted in your space. Excellent. So, that is it for today. Thank you for joining me for this class. I hope you learned something and practice this. In fact, practice your sketching techniques on the way home, on the train, waiting for a bus, or just enjoying a scene, resting, looking out your window. Remember, there is always an opportunity to draw life as it happens and make it still. Keep it with you forever. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.